Hey, everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Alonso here with Matt and Christy. They have seen My Spy, and I have not. So while they talk about it, I'm going to eat these very chewy, gummy candies from the Vermont Country Store, which will keep me busy.
What flavor are they?
Cinnamon squares.
Oh, is that a
I don't
thing you
like
like?
cinnamon candy is
I don't-
gross.
I don't think I don't know. I like hot tamales. I'm not
I
sure I
hate
want a
cinnamon
whole
candy.
bunch of those though. If they were like cherry or watermelon, that'd be
Yeah.
good.
Well, I'm going to mute myself because I know people hate chewing sounds.
I was going to ask Alonso if he brought enough for the rest of the class, but since it's cinnamon candy, which is gross, then forget it.
Ew. No, thank you.
The
All right.
only thing
Matt.
worse is black licorice. All right.
Ugh.
All right. So My Spy, the title character is Dave Bautista, who is a CIA operative, former special forces, and he's teamed up with young Chloe Coleman, a 9-year-old, because he's on the hunt to find her father, who's
Uncle.
like an arms dealer, uncle, who's an arms dealer, and her single mother may still know him. And Kristen Schaal's his partner, and Ken Jeong is his boss. And I saw this movie a few months ago.
Okay.
And it was okay. Like it's fine. Look, like Bautista teamed up with a girl as he's a spy and he's got a 9-year-old, like does what it says on the box. It's exactly what I expected. It's not one of those, oh, holy shit, that movie's amazing. But Bautista, I think, is underrated as an actor. He's playing probably a little bit gruffer than he needs to, but he's got good comic timing. That dance scene that's in this is pretty funny. This worked for me. Like, it's not great. It's forgettable, but which I'm having a problem with, but it's not.
I'm sorry. I should have described it. I just recently rewatched it.
You
I had to write about it. Well,
Wow.
yeah. So this
I'm
was, I
impressed.
think we were talking off the top. I think we talked about this off the top about how My Spy is the last movie that a lot of us saw, the last press screening that a lot of us saw. So that was for us here. It was Wednesday night, like Wednesday, March 11th at the Grove. And Nick and I went with Tara McNamara, who you guys may remember from our What the Flick days. And she and her little boy are good buddies of ours. We all drove up together from this part of the world, and we had a good time. And I remember thinking, like, I did not have very high expectations for My Spy, and I was surprised then, and I was surprised again upon rewatching it that there's like an unexpected kind of weird streak to the humor. There's there are things that don't necessarily play out the way you expect they will. I mean, yes, there is a great deal of slapstick, which Bautista can do quite easily, having been a former wrestler. And, he understands the power of his physicality and he knows how to have fun with it. But he and Chloe Coleman have such lovely chemistry with each other. And again, over and over again, because this is a PG-13 movie, it goes to weird, dark places that I did not expect and I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And she's smart. Like she's precocious, but not in an obnoxious way. Like there's an understated way to her. She was Zoe Kravitz's daughter on Big Little Lies. And she's got a ton of presence about her. I mean, yes, she's super cute and she's tiny and he's big. And so there's, the joke of the physical disparity between them. But this is not like Kindergarten Cop. This is definitely not like Playing with Fire, right? Like
Right.
That's the kind of cloying, G-rated, like poopy joke movie. This is not that. This is a little smarter than that. But when it actually tries to be about the spy part of it, it grinds to a halt. Like, who could possibly care less about the plutonium that's missing?
Right. You're reminding me that I did have a good time and was pleasantly surprised. And I think one of the differences is Bautista here because, as we see with The Rock, like when The Rock does comedy, he'll be really broad and he's good. Don't get me wrong, but he mugs, right? He's got these big, wide facial expressions. And similarly, like when Schwarzenegger would do comedy, straight up comedies, you would see a lot of that out of him. And Bautista doesn't go there. Like his character doesn't know that he's in a comedy, right? He's a tough guy who's trying to maintain some level of his own dignity at any given time. And that makes this movie really funny. Like he's, there's this constant, like, whereas somebody like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would be like rolling their eyes and, oh my God, I can't do this stuff. Bautista's like, he's kind of shocked, but it's like, it's like this kind of these pained sighs a lot. And I think that really works here.
Well, he's socially awkward, right? He's gone through some stuff that is quite devastating to him. They allude to his backstory as far as like loss and tragedy that he's experienced. And you see that he brings that to this, right? You're right. You make a very good point that he's not playing in a comedy. He's playing somebody who is damaged, who is now having to take this embarrassing role that he feels is beneath him. I'm reminded of how great he was just in a very brief role in Blade Runner 2049, right? And so that kind of darkness and that kind of sadness in somebody who is so hulking is quite powerful, but very quietly powerful, and he brings that here. So it's better than it should be for that reason.
Yeah, this is a little bit in line with kind of what you see out of him as playing Drax, right? Like Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy does not know how dumb he is, right? Like he's kind of says everything straight. And this is somewhat similar, like not that he's doing the same thing acting wise, but the character he plays here is not, JJ's not making the jokes. JJ is reacting to other things. So when, for instance, there's the scene where he's trying to teach her to negotiate, I think it was, with the fish on the table. Right? Like that scene's hilarious because she does something so shocking and he's just, this worked for me.
The training montage, even there's like an obligatory training montage, right? Because she blackmails him, right? She's like, I won't blow your cover, but you got to teach me how to be a spy. And ergo, he is my spy. And so there's a whole training montage involving like a lie detector test and her having to talk her way into various people's apartments. And again, it goes to weird places. It's not super cutesy and wacky. It's like dark kind of sometimes. And I like that about it.
Right. And things that they point out, like, what about walking away from the explosion? Like, that never happens. And, but then that pays off. Yeah. This is a fun movie. This is, it seems, I'm kind of sad that I think it's going to get a little bit buried this weekend. I think this would have been done surprising business at the box office had it actually got a theatrical release.
In mid-March. It was supposed to come out March 13th. Yeah. I feel like it got kicked around a couple different times, but this is definitely one of the first casualties of movie theaters all being abruptly shut down. And so now it's available for streaming finally, more than 4 months later, right? April, May, June. Well, March, April, May, June, 3 months later, 3.5 months later. I'm using my stubby little fingers to count.
But look at those nails. They're so good.
Right? My toes are the same color. I'm not going to show you them, but they look really good.
Come on.
No one needs to
I'm sure there's a whole wiki page for that.
There's a WikiFeet page for me, you guys. I didn't start it. But I know it's there.
You didn't start the fire.
I didn't. And you know what? If you've got a thing for my feet, you've got something seriously wrong with you. Like these little hobbit paws.
So many questions.
Let's just...
I don't have sexy feet. I just don't. All right. Anyway.
Are we now saying, oh no, what are you talking about? They're great.
No. I know this is true. I have stumpy little white like boxes. Anyway, I'm saying 6.2 is my number.
I was too low, so I will join Christy at 6.2.
Okay, well, our number is a 6.2 then. And it's better than you think. I mean, I don't really know why it's PG-13. I guess because there's a bit of violence in it. It's kind of harmless action comedy violence.
Yeah, but kids in peril and that kind of stuff too. Like,
she's in peril.
Is there smoking?
No. None of the European bad guys smoke.
I'm watching some Swedish Netflix series, and the rating at the beginning, it's like, blah, 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 it's smoking.
Bad for you. Don't do it.
You shouldn't. You should not. And also wear a mask. So, hey, thanks for listening. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Fun, exclusive stuff for our subscribers, including, starting this week, our recaps of Hulu's Love, Victor. So check that out. Hope you all are doing well. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.